So next up, I'm adding a second utterance to the same one, which is turn the fan on. And press enter. Turn the fan on. Okay. Next up, we're going to create a new intent, which we call switch off. And then in this intent, we're going to add two utterances, turn the light off and turn the fan off. I'll go to intents, and then I'm going to type switch off, add that as well, and add some utterances. So I've already had this copied, so press enter here, I'll paste it again, but change this one to fan. And again, it recognizes automatically the devices in the sentence there. Okay, so I've added the intents, I've added the utterances. So we're done with the create intents part, and now we're going to train and test our model. So we're going to train the model, and then we're going to test the model, and we're going to copy in some phrases here. So let me just copy one themselves. I'm only going to show you one, but if you're doing the exercise yourself, you can try out the others as well. So let's go back here to the Lewis, and then on the top right you see a button with a red circle around it. Press train. Now in this case it will start training the app and starts recognizing the utterances, and that will only take a couple of seconds. Here we are, and now I can actually go to, you see that the green circle it's now green. Before it was red, so it's now a trained model, and now I can test it right here. I can test an utterance by typing switch the light on, press enter, and it indeed will find the switch on. So that's good, it works. Great, so let's close this again, and now we will publish the model, and we will configure the endpoints. A little bit in the same way that we've done before with the other, with the image classification. So we'll publish it. We'll go for a production slot. So it's now published, and now I can go to the Management tab and select the application ID right here. Press the copy button, and I'll need it in this exercise right here. Yeah, let's see here, it will ask me for my Lewis language understanding application ID, so I can just paste this in there. Now, of course, I also need the primary key and the endpoint. In this case, I'll need to go through the portal where I created the Cognitive Services Lewis. I'll go to the resource, and here if I go to keys and endpoints, it will show me a key and an endpoint. So let's copy this one, copy the key, put it in here, copying the endpoint, and then pasting it in here. So I now have the application ID, I have the Lewis key, and I have the Lewis endpoint. Okay. Now I can run the cell because it has everything it needs. And let's test our trained language understanding model. So here we are. Now I can enter a command, so I can type turn on the light, and it will turn the light on. I can also type turn off the light, and then the light is off. So again, by training a language understanding model, I can now use that algorithm, use what I trained somewhere else. So we trained it in the Lewis.ai by giving it some utterances, some intents, etc. And now in a different notebook, and this is just a notebook where I'm running a little bit of code where I'm using that what I've trained, because I gave it the information it needed, so the application ID, the key, and the endpoint.